Sip, 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 sip.
Good morning and welcome back. Today we have Dustin Fenton with us. Thank you so much, Dustin,
Quite
for
welcome.
being here. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to know more about you.
Yeah.
So my first question is, tell me a little bit about your past and how it brought you to Greenville College.
I was born on a dark and stormy night.
Is that real?
No, that's not real. I have
man,
no
how
idea what. I
exciting
know
would
that's
that
right.
be,
I have no idea what the temperature was when I was born. It was in the summer though. So,
Okay.
but
warm.
yeah.
It could have been stormy.
That's right. Could have been. Probably was. We'll call it stormy.
Okay.
Dark and stormy.
Dark and stormy night.
But no, how I came to Greenville was actually I was a student. I was a alumni of Greenville in 2001.
Okay.
I have a degree from Greenville in mass communication and youth ministry. So the
So
joke.
was Veronica Ross around back then?
She was. She
So
was my advisor. Yep, during that time, some of that time anyway.
Was she
so.
still the queen bee?
She was, yeah.
Yeah.
She definitely was. So.
She's held
Yep.
on to that title.
She has, and purple is still a favorite color. And
How
so,
did
yeah.
you get to be a student here? What brought you to Greenville?
I grew up in Decatur, Illinois,
Okay.
and so I knew of Greenville. It was affiliated with my church, and so I'd been on campus several times. I worked at Durley from like my junior high years
Right.
before like I was really probably supposed to, and then every summer. And back then, Durley would come to Greenville and play in the rec center and all kinds of other.
So
random
you were
things.
familiar with the campus.
I was, yeah.
Before you got
And
here.
in high school, I had friends that were high schoolers from the town of Greenville and things like that. So.
Okay. So you were a student here before 2001. So you must have. I know there's still other people around from before. Were any of them your roommates? Do you have roommates that are still around?
Yes. Jacob Adam.
Jacob Adam.
Was a roommate of mine my
Wow.
sophomore year. So
Just sophomore year.
yes, I think he felt pity on me. He was a junior and I was a sophomore, so
Okay.
he thought, I've got to take this guy under my wing.
Or he was like, I don't have anyone to be my roommate.
I think that was both the
Yeah,
case for both of us. We
happens.
didn't have any place, so yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about your roommatehood. Like, what was the thing that you remember that you did together, or like the craziest thing that you did together?
Well, Jacob, as you know, is a very interesting character. I like Jacob. Yeah, I like Jacob a lot, and he
Yeah,
taught me a lot.
I do too.
Being his roommate, I was his junior, so I kind of looked up to him.
Right. He knew more.
As the wiser, mature two of us.
Isn't that so funny how like 1 year in college
That's right.
makes
That's
a difference
right.
somehow?
So, but he's more refined. So, but fun things. Well, we lived on Fourth Joy, and that time was like the place to live. I don't know if it still is. I get the sense that there's certain places on campus that are the place to live.
I don't
but
know if it is
I don't
this
know.
year. I know my sophomore year, so about 2 years ago.
Okay, all right.
That was the place to be.
Well, for some time, it was the place to live.
Okay.
Probably with my whole entire tenure here as an undergraduate. So we had people we just do lots of different pranks and all kinds of silly, crazy things.
Was there like
So,
another rival floor that you did pranks on, or was it just anybody that you wanted to prank?
It was actually amongst ourselves.
Oh.
So I remember one time someone had a juice bottle that they'd finished and decided to urinate in it, and then
Okay.
leaned it against our door, and then knocked on the door. And when you open the door, so all kinds of like just kind of crazy
Did it like
things.
get on you?
No, but Jacob wasn't very happy, and I wasn't either. But
Did you
he
know
was,
who it was?
Well, yeah, it was Brian, the guy that lived 2 doors down.
What'd you do to him?
He's come back as a chapel speaker, so
Nice.
There's redemption in that, right?
That's great. So
yeah.
tell me, what did you do to get back at him? Because you had to have done
Yeah,
something.
I'm sure.
You can't just leave
Well,
it there.
I don't recall, but I'm sure that we did. Yeah, we did all kinds of things with that. But we just would always kind of do pranks. One time, and I don't suggest this, we had as a floor our RA was our RC. We called them RAs back then, but our RC was a little bit of a jerk and about himself, and so he always went to the gym at the annex and worked out at the same time. And then we knew when he'd be in his room after shower after that, and so we all tackled him. Granted, he's naked, and we crucified him on his bed post on the bed railing.
And surely he was fighting.
Oh yes, he was, and he was a big guy. But with duct tape and enough guys, you can crucify almost anyone. So yeah,
Wow.
he was not happy with us, but he was less haughty
Did
at
you
that
ever
time.
get in
so.
trouble?
Yes.
You did?
On a couple occasions, yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
So yeah.
So you're a little bit of a rebel. But you had to get that out of your system,
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Because now you're like...
Yeah, never a rebel.
All put together.
Yeah,
and
hardly.
The purpose. Yeah,
That's
of
right.
course, of course.
So.
While you were in college...
Yep.
And who was your favorite professor? Which is hard to say because I know that some of them are still here.
Yeah, no, that's
But
true.
if you picked one that you had to take like every class from.
If I had to take every class from.
Yeah. I know. It's an interesting way to think of it.
Yeah. I could only have one professor for life.
Right.
It would be a combination of people. Can I have two? Like
Sure. Yeah.
So I
Put
really,
them together.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
their love child.
Right.
And so I took a class actually with my CRE, and he's just kind of a really good friend of mine still, and so I like that. But then McPeak is the guy that I would take classes. So if they got together, I like McPeak's abstractness and
Yeah.
things along those lines, but I appreciate and value the continuity of the other guy that I took
So
class
a
from,
combination of the two.
Yeah,
And what would that class be?
Oh, what would the class would be?
Yeah. If that person, that new constructed person, taught class.
It would be doing life well in a community. That's not really a class that we offer, but it is the class we offer.
It
at
could
Greenville.
be a class.
It's like the class we
Oh,
offer.
the
It's,
four-year
That's
class,
exactly right.
other than
yeah.
core.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's right. So it's the Greenville College Experience class is what that would be. So because McPeak would teach you, all about what it means to live well in a community from a spiritual sense, and then Brandon, this other gentleman, would, what it means to live well in a community and just a communal setting. So
Wonderful.
yeah.
So a question that I have was, I know that probably a lot of students see you around campus, but don't actually know what you do. So what do you do?
It's a mystery as well to me.
Yeah. So what's your title?
Yeah,
We can
okay,
start
we'll
there.
I am the Associate Dean of Leadership Development and Campus Activities. My title has
Associate Dean.
morphed. So I've been here for 7 years or so. And it's changed almost every year on average. But that's what currently today it is.
So what does it say on your door?
It says all those things. So
No way.
Yeah, Associate Dean.
In really little letters.
It does. Yeah, it's very. Jane Hopkins over at the library had a,
Smallest
small
font that you
font.
could
That's exactly right. That's right. So basically, I work with students in active learning environments. That's how I kind of boil it down. And so that means everything from campus organizations and clubs, GCSA, student government, Agape, things along those lines, Walkabout even. But then I also try to get students involved and meet with students to try to help them find their place now so that they can work and figure out what's next for them. And so in some ways I work in tandem with Patrick Miller.
Okay.
And so we kind of introduce each other as what's now and what's next. And so I work on
In
the what's now.
preparation for, so you work on preparing students for the next.
That's correct.
And he works on getting students to the next.
That's right.
So that's
Yep.
that's wonderful. So you're like
Yeah.
the developer and he's like the maximizer.
If you want to use
in
strength.
Greenville
yeah,
terms,
exactly right. Yeah.
that's something I learned from McPeak actually.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the developer and he's the maximizer.
He's the maximizer.
So
Okay.
we
Do you
work well
see-
together.
Okay, as I said, do you see eye to eye? 'Cause sometimes that could be like, stop taking over. You're running too far ahead.
It's actually good because
Okay.
I'm like, okay, let's do this, and I think that'll be great,
Sure,
And he's like, but
But
wait,
we could take it to the next level. I
exactly,
see.
and I'm like, I never would have brought
Sure.
it there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
sometimes I'm like, that's way beyond
Yeah.
what I would think.
Yeah, no,
So-
that's always fun to help people experience that sort of
Uh-huh.
wow, I didn't realize that was possible.
Right.
And so that's kind of what I do is I kind of help people go, oh, I can do that sort of thing, and I like to try to vision cast with them.
So what are your strengths?
I've taken the Strength Finder 3 times in the course of my life. I took it once actually when I was a student here and through the pilot program of Strength Finder when it was first being developed, and I don't recall any of those strengths. And I took it again maybe 10 years ago now, and those are kind of the strengths I know. But then I took it again just last May, and I'm trying to find myself in those strengths, if that makes sense. So the ones that I call my own are input, restorative, connectedness, context, and responsibility. When I took it again in May, I had responsibility, and then all the rest of them changed. And I don't recall all of them, but self-assurance was one of them. See, I'm very self-assured about that.
Yeah. That's a rare one.
Well, yeah, shoot,
That's okay.
there was like 5 of them that I, anyway.
It's hard to remember. I mean, I often forget mine,
Yeah.
and I should remember. I've been trying to quote them for 4 years.
You
so.
can't quite get down.
Yeah.
Well, the ones
I like is the ones I
yeah,
remember.
strategic is one. They were. I didn't see myself
Right, as that person.
Yeah, but now in a little bit of reflection, I'm like, oh, I see how that could.
I am that person.
Yeah, so.
Interesting. You just
I'm
wouldn't.
I'm a self-assurance jerk, and I have strategic, and so I know how to be a jerk strategically.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's okay. I have belief, and I always tell people that just means I'm super stubborn, and you will never convince me of anything that you're trying to convince
That's
me of.
exactly right.
So there's always that, both
right.
and
That's right.
to all of them. Yeah. So you said that you worked with Danara, right? Well, you worked at Agape, so you worked with
Yes.
Danara because of that. I heard through my outside sources that you had an interesting phone conversation with her one time.
Yes.
Do you want to
Just
explain
recently.
that?
So the beginning of the year is always kind of crazy. There's lots of things with specific activities and
Right.
and trying to get going. And so Danara and I were on the phone trying to coordinate a meeting time. And unbeknownst to me, I must have said, "Love you, goodbye." That's a ritual that I have oftentimes
Right.
with my wife.
Right. Or your daughter.
and my daughter. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't talk to her as much on the phone. But yeah,
Right.
so my wife, and so I must have not. So I get to the office, and she's got several students there, and she goes, "You know what you said to me on the phone?" I was like, "We're gonna meet at now," and no, and it was a little bit like you're just trying to trap me in. I was like, I don't know what she's saying, and I wasn't sure what she was saying. With the students there, I was like, she said, "You told me you loved me." I was like, I don't recall that. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Danara.
That's right.
I'm sure she took a lot of amusement from that, though.
That's right. I'm gonna let you down easy. I didn't mean it.
Right.
It's me, not you.
Sorry. Yeah, right. Exactly. That's awesome. That is too fun. So I'm sure though that you have created a close bond with her because of working with students in such a stressful manner.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a different form of love.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's agape love.
It's agape love.
Right.
There we go. The love that comes from Christ.
That's right.
So moving on to something different.
Yep.
I love your sense of humor. So I was wondering if you had a joke. Tell me a joke.
I have several jokes. Would you like to? I have 2 jokes that I recently made up.
Oh.
So
Original jokes.
Original jokes, and someday you'll see them on the back of a Laffy Taffy. You know how like Laffy Taffy? They're not like.
My favorite joke comes from Laffy Taffy.
Well, that's what they are. They're like
they're
puns.
Laffy Taffy jokes.
Yeah, they're Laffy Taffy jokes.
Okay.
And so I think it's always funny. You see, the kid's name that I don't know how you actually submit a joke to Laffy Taffy, so I think they're all made up kids' names.
You should Google it.
I should, and then because I would like to submit one.
Because you know that
But
random.
then they have their age.
Yeah.
It's like 9.
So you'd have to submit it from Matea.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, Matea. So
Yeah.
Matea Fenton, age 3. Or they wouldn't look good. They probably wouldn't accept the joke. Dustin Fenton, age 35. They'd be like, what the
Just
heck?
add 3 and 5 together, so 8.
8.
Dustin Fenton,
That's
8.
exactly right. So here's the 2 jokes.
Okay.
What do you call 2 hummingbirds that are friends? Now you have to think like a kid.
Okay.
But more the answer, you have to answer like a kid.
2 hummingbirds that are friends. Can I say I don't know?
Yeah, you can say.
Okay, I don't know.
And so you gotta really think with a lisp a little bit. Hummingbuds. Hummingbuds.
Hummingbuds.
That's exactly right.
That is
that's
great.
Right, that's right.
Because they're friends.
Yes, that's
So they're
exactly right.
buds.
Yeah, exactly right.
Oh,
So
wow.
hummingbuds. So
I love it. So the second joke.
So the second joke originated with my daughter. She loves to tell jokes, and so she was in the back seat, and we were driving through the fields.
3-year-old loves to tell jokes.
Yeah, 3-year-olds love to tell jokes. So we're driving through the country, the summer, and the corn was high, and so I asked her this joke, which I knew she wouldn't get, but I thought it was funny enough to ask my 3-year-old. And so I
Nobody
said,
else was in the car?
No one else was in the car. That's right, and I already laughed at it. And so, what do you call what did one field of corn say to the other field of corn?
What?
Nothing, but they were all ears.
You came up with that?
I came up with that one.
That is a Laffy Taffy joke.
That's right. But someone actually came up with a better punchline later on. Well, it's okay. I mean, it's a good punchline. It
Okay.
said, I think it was Jake Cannon actually. He says, stop stalking me. I thought that was pretty funny too.
Oh,
So,
that is.
an
So
alternative.
did you tell him the joke and then he came up
Yeah,
with a
that's
better
what,
punchline?
yeah, he answered it with a better punchline. I was like,
That-
I like that better. So
So
yeah.
you could just tell it both. You could
Yeah,
just
that's right.
tell the first one. It's like the banana joke.
Yeah.
So.
But no, I love jokes.
Good.
So in fact, I teach a Core 101 class, and I've tried to
Incorporate.
encourage them. We have this running blog to have a joke, but no one has submitted a joke yet. So
if you are in Dustin Fenton's Core
That's right.
101 class, he's telling you now that if you submit a joke, you might get extra credit. I don't know.
and they got to be better than mine.
Yeah.
So
So good.
Yeah.
Laffy Taffy jokes. That's your sense of
yep,
humor.
age 35.
That's
been
great.
fun.
That's,
Look for me.
That's good.
On every-
age
on
30
every-
If
on
you
every
see
life,
someone age
it's-
35, it's
Gonna be
probably gonna be you.
I'll be in a pseudonym.
Right, exactly.
I'll be too embarrassed.
Exactly. That's awesome. So, on a more serious note, if there is one thing on campus or in Greenville, we'll expand it not just to the campus because sometimes we get stuck in our bubble, but in Greenville that you could change, what would it be?
It's the most random thing ever.
Okay.
There's an
I love that you're laughing before you even tell me.
There's an intersection. So I love roundabouts.
Right.
Traffic circles.
Of course.
Depending on what
It's-
part of the world
You
you're
just
in.
think you get exhilaration
I do.
from it?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I just think
Exciting.
I think they're the best thing ever.
Okay.
But there's a need for a traffic circle here in Greenville.
Where?
And I mean, Greenville campus has circles. We are known for our circles. Ganton Circle and Page Circle and
You can only drive around one
the
of
other
those.
circle.
Oh, I know it.
Clausen
Clausen
Plaza. That's right.
yeah.
But yeah,
But
you
it does
can't
not
drive. That's
circle.
right. Anyway, so I'd like to expand the circles
Okay.
into the community of Greenville as a GC to GC
Right.
type of a thing. And so they're over by Casey's in the high school.
Yes.
On Beaumont. There's an
That
intersection.
awful
That's
intersection.
right. They just put a circle there. It'd be perfect.
Another one that would be good is over by, like, right the street before Dairy Queen.
Mm-hmm.
That one.
Yeah, you're right. You don't know what.
Like because
yeah.
one side doesn't stop and this side does stop,
Exactly
but this
right.
side doesn't stop. So like,
Exactly right. Just put a circle.
Just put a circle.
Everyone doesn't have to stop that way.
right?
So.
Is there another like meaning to the circle, or is it
For
just
me, no, it's just
No,
the
just-
fun that
just
I don't
fun.
have to stop at an intersection.
And then it's exciting.
It's efficient, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
but
like
what if you did it
efficiency.
so often that it wasn't exciting anymore? Do you think you could get to
No,
that point? No.
I
It'd always
oftentimes
be
will
exciting.
drive around the circle multiple times before I exit the traffic circle.
Gotcha.
So if you see me in Highland,
You'll just
just
keep going.
taking the circles at Walmart, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, that's good to know. You know,
My
you could
daughter
just-
and I.
You know, you could just
we
do
tell
it like
jokes, so we just do circles. That's all we do.
That's wonderful.
So,
Okay.
no. So on Greenville College campus, okay, this is another pet peeve. I
Yeah.
guess I have a lot of pet peeves. I didn't realize
It
this.
happens.
When people drop things in the DC and everyone claps, I find that annoying.
I have to admit, I'm a clapper.
You're a clapper.
But
Shame
I'm
on
not.
you.
I'm not a clapper. Like, why do you not like it first?
I don't know. Maybe I don't understand what, like,
What you're
why.
clapping for?
Why? Yeah. I mean, I understand someone dropped thing and they're like, oh, it's they dropped it. Congratulate. It's like
Yeah.
it's like we honor the fact that you dropped something,
Uh-huh.
but I don't get
So
it.
the reason I clap,
Please.
probably not. I think way differently than most
Sure,
people, so
uh-huh.
it's probably not the reason everybody else was clapping. But I'm clapping to encourage the person that they are not a failure for dropping a dish.
Is that what? Okay.
Yeah. So it's
All right.
like, so when I've dropped a dish before,
I've dropped many dishes.
and people clap for
Exactly,
me. So you
yeah.
know what I do?
Yeah.
I go up and I give a little curtsy,
Oh.
and I thank them for their applause.
Maybe that's what you should do when you drop something. You should always
Yeah.
You should
Be
always
appreciative,
celebrate
yeah.
the idea that
You didn't fail just because you dropped
you
a dish.
did. Yeah, it's exactly right. Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. That's a
Yeah.
very developer in you.
Yeah, it really
So-
is. I know.
Restorative. Going back to strengths.
Yes.
Restorative is the foundation for developer and then maximizer.
So it's the step before.
That's exactly right. So you just
So
taught me
we're-
something I didn't know. So in the same way you
Nice.
you McPeaked me.
I mean, I did.
That's right.
Oh, I like
So-
that. We should use that as a
That's
verb.
right.
McPeaking people.
It's hard to say.
That is. Yeah, okay, but we should do that. It's a thing now.
All
It's
right.
starting right now.
Fair enough.
I love it. So, who's your campus crush? Everybody has a campus crush.
Campus crush.
Everyone has one.
Yeah.
Not your wife.
I know. It might be Jacob Adam actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. Ever
Would
since
he
my
have been
day.
back then?
It might. Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably
you
was.
still look up to him.
I do,
He's
yeah.
still that you're older
He's still-
that
yeah,
is
that's right.
so much more mature.
That's
and
exactly right.
That's so funny. You were married before him. You have you
yeah,
have 2 children,
yeah.
and he doesn't have any children.
That's true.
But he's still.
But yeah,
okay.
you know, I enjoy hanging out with him. So.
That's awesome. So you
yeah.
guys, do you like have a standing coffee date or?
No, we just kind of bump into each other. We do a backpacking class, and so we talk about.
So that's your time
sort
to
of
be
thing.
like best buds.
Yeah, exactly right. So,
Yeah. Humming buds.
Humming buds.
That's when you're
exactly
humming
right.
buds.
That's exactly right.
That's wonderful. So my last question that I try to ask all of my interviewees.
Okay.
Who is your favorite princess and why? Now you have a daughter,
Well,
so you should know princesses.
Right, and you can tell that I'm really. I mean, like just looking at me, I exude princess-ship.
Everywhere.
So.
Yeah.
You know, I knew that question was coming, and so I thought about like how do I answer the question, but not answer the question.
Right.
And so I started googling princesses of the world.
Right.
And I didn't know any of them either.
Princess Di?
Yeah, I don't.
No, okay.
I was like the Princess of Monte Carlo. I thought, oh, that'd be interesting, but I don't even know.
who are
So
you?
that's right. So I think Rapunzel, though.
Rapunzel?
Yes.
Why?
Well,
like from the new Tangled movie?
Yeah.
She's the one that everyone knows.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
and the other ones, is she really a princess? I mean,
Yes.
I think Disney.
She is.
She is.
Yeah,
okay.
her parents are actually. She actually was kidnapped from a castle.
Okay, got it. Is that the only definition of being a princess? Is that you have to be at
Your
one point
father-
live in a castle, or do you have
your
to have
father has to be a king.
Okay.
Or your mother has to be a queen.
Okay.
So why Rapunzel?
I think Rapunzel because has these dreams and she wants to live out these dreams, and so she's got wanderlust, and I've got wanderlust. I always think about what could be and seeing the world and going exploring, and I love adventure, and I think that's what of all the princesses.
Yeah.
I think Rapunzel
She's it.
exudes adventure the most. Is that?
So were you in chapel yesterday?
I was not.
You should
no.
go to Vespers tonight if you get a chance.
Okay.
Or chapel tomorrow because
Okay.
the speaker she'll be here both times.
Uh-huh.
She was incredible. She was talking about the different circles. There's like your comfort zone,
You know,
and there's one outside. There's one outside. There's even one outside of that one.
Yeah, I heard that, and I thought she's speaking my language.
Oh my gosh!
I've taught that
I
so many
want to
times.
be her.
Yeah.
I'm not lying. I hope
No,
she
that's
watches
great.
the show
Sure.
because I want to be her.
Yeah, no, that's
She's
great.
an amazing person,
Yeah.
and I strive to be ridiculous as she is.
Yeah, no, actually, I was doing some stuff cleaning up at the all college hike yesterday, and I stopped what I was doing so I could hear the circle.
The circles.
Of that.
Yeah.
The learning circle analogy. Yeah.
So she's outside of the comfort circle, and that's
where
why
Christ,
Rapunzel's awesome.
That's where Christ calls us to be, is to
And
be
then-
living on the edge.
That's right.
Jim Whittaker, who was the first American to climb Mount Everest, says if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space, and so that's the deal.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Love it. Awesome. So we're gonna go to a commercial now, and when we come back, Dustin has agreed to play Hangman with us. So we'll tune back in a minute. Thank you.
That's great.
Welcome back, Greenville. We are very excited because we get to play Hangman, which is one of America's best games. I actually don't know if it originated in America, but if it did, we'll just claim it right now. We claim everything. That's what America
Fair
does,
enough.
right?
Do we want to claim Hangman as?
I mean, that's true. Probably is ours, though, knowing our history.
Right.
Okay,
I don't know who to
anyways.
even pawn that off on.
Right.
One of Australia's best games.
It's Hangman. Okay, so Dustin is gonna start by using the phrase. He has a phrase up here on the board, and I'm gonna guess the letters. So let's hope that my spelling isn't as atrocious.
And I think my spelling is good.
Okay, wonderful.
We'll make it up. If you're close, what's good enough?
There has to be an A.
There has to be an A, and you'd have to be right.
Yeah. Oh, the first letter.
Okay, that's all you get though.
Okay. Wow, one A. Well, I'm glad there was an A. I didn't look so stupid. I.
There is an I.
And okay.
That's it.
T.
I'm sure there's a T. I just have to figure out where it's
Where
at.
it is. So that means there would have to be an N.
An N.
No?
No N.
So you write the N down
Oh,
there
yes, thank
with
you.
the head, yeah.
And the head comes first. Is that the
Yeah.
deal? Okay.
Oh, I think so. That's what attaches the body to
Fair
the
enough. You're a good point. Yep.
thing. So, what about an M?
An M as in mom.
Monkey. Or
And monkey.
Goodness. What other letter goes with I?
Is it the body right there?
I-T. It. I'm in. I'll just guess another letter.
Okay.
C.
C.
Oh!
That's a leg.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Whatever you do. I'm fine. F.
F is not
Ah.
there. You're, the Wheel of Fortune. Think Wheel of Fortune here. Although you've got many of those.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think like popular R.
R. Yes.
Yay.
There are 2 R's.
2 R's. Okay. Not a C. What about an E?
I may have lied. You may get a leg back.
Oh, it's yay.
It's probably the head that you.
That's exciting.
So the N, there is.
There's an N.
I have to look it up.
That's fine. It's hard with letters.
No, I would space.
Yeah.
So the 5th space.
5th space. 1, 2, 3. Oh gosh. O.
O is the.
It's a guess.
Gotcha.
Not like O is
Oh.
exciting. And there's not an A there. Okay, so it's not oat. L.
L. There is no L. You get
No
the leg
L.
is back for L.
Well, I don't know if it's a good thing that I have a leg or not. But anyways, I already guessed T. H.
There's an H.
I haven't guessed E yet.
No, ma'am.
My goodness, E.
E. Should start to bring it into perspective
A
briefly.
little bit. I know that word.
Yeah. Again, I have to
You have to consult.
consult.
Consult
4th letter and the last letter.
an outer source. So, I still don't have a clue. I know the last letter is there. Something, something, something
Oh,
there.
and you also get a T. I failed to
That's
get a
fine.
T. Phonetics weren't good for me.
K.
K. Sorry.
I just threw it out
With
there.
certainty.
P.
P. At what point?
Am I dead?
I don't know. So, you know, when I was a kid, you'd put smiley faces on. I
Okay,
don't know
let's
why
do
you
a
did
smiley
that. Okay,
face.
fair enough.
Okay. A. B.
B.
I'm just going for letters now.
You are,
D.
yeah.
Oh, D's a famous one.
D is a good. You get the nose on that one. You get a D.
A V.
A B.
A U.
A U.
Adventures out there.
That's right.
Oh, so you like the movie Up?
Yeah.
That's
Good
great.
movie, yeah.
That was good.
Again,
phrase.
because adventure and
then
understanding the
yeah.
possibilities that are beyond yourself.
Now I don't feel like a failure. Thanks for the smile
Yeah, no
face.
problem.
I
You just
appreciate
got the nose,
that.
so
I
you're
just
good
got
to
the nose. Well, thank you so much for being here with
You're
us
quite
today,
welcome. It's a
Dustin.
pleasure.
We really had fun, and we hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a magical day. So yeah, so now we're just gonna talk amongst ourselves because he's
Oh,
gonna
that's what he's
the
doing.
credits
Gotcha.
is gonna roll,
I see what you're saying.
and the sound won't be here. That's
enough.
cool. Yeah. So that was a good one.
Adventure I was out there.
I'm pretty impressed. I was like, oh my gosh, it starts with an A and it's a long word.
I know. I
What
couldn't
word
figure
is
out how to
it?
spell it.
Right.
I was like, how many letters are there?
Adventure.
So.
Thankfully it's phonetic. Because it's those words that aren't that I just don't like. Don't
Okay.
even try.
That's right.
My mom
Put a
calls
silent
it.
P in there.
That's
That'd be
right.
good.
No.
Sip, 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 sip.